The 1970s were a golden era for gadgets that promised the future and delivered the ridiculous. If it buzzed, blinked, or plugged into the wall, people bought it. Some of these contraptions smoked, sparked, or left you wondering if modern life required a minor electrical burn. Still, they were glorious, strange, and impossible to forget. Here are 10 bizarre 1970s gadgets we fully bought into. 1. Clairol Mist Stick. Imagine a curling iron that steamed your hair like a pot on the stove. The mist stick hissed and sputtered, filling bathrooms with a warm, slightly burnt salon fog. You clamped a section of hair, waited, and hoped for bouncy curls instead of a crispy line of damage. Steam plus electricity felt cutting edge back then, and if your hair came out curly, it felt like a miracle. 2. Ronco Egg Scrambler. Solving problems that didn't exist was a 1970s specialty. The Ronco Egg Scrambler promised a perfectly blended egg while it was still inside the shell, spun the egg like a carnival toy, and crossed your fingers that it wouldn't explode in your hand. The advertising made it look scientific and futuristic. In reality, it turned breakfast into a tiny engineering experiment. 3. AM/FM shower radio. Nothing said futuristic like hanging a plastic radio in the shower and shampooing to muffle top 40. The volume knobs corroded, antennas rusted, and the thing developed a permanent soap scum scent. Still, stepping into the shower with music felt like a Jetsons-level luxury, even if the sound was mostly static. 4. Ronco Glass Froster. Frosted glasses were a barroom luxury, and now you could get that effect at home instantly. The froster blasted glasses with cold air until they fogged over, and occasionally gave you a hint of frostbite. It was loud, vibrating, reliable, but it made ordinary soda feel classy. 5. Tootaloop Radio. Shaped like a plastic donut straight out of a sci-fi set, the Tootaloop radio was all style and very little sound. You twirled it to tune stations and wore it like an accessory. The sound quality was rough, but the design felt futuristic and cool, enough to make listeners forgive a lot. 6. Electric Hot Dogger. The electric hot dogger cooked sausages by sending current through metal spikes thrust into the meat. Fast, efficient, and mildly horrifying, it lived on kitchen counters as evidence that technology could improve even the simplest foods. It also looked like a lawsuit in waiting, but people loved it anyway. 7. Mood lamps. From lava lamps and fiber optic strands to color-changing orbs, mood lamps promised to transform living rooms into mellow starship lounges. Most were just colored bulbs in odd shapes, but they created ambiance in a way overhead lights never could. Turn one on, and your den instantly felt warmer, weirder, and more future. 8. Plug-in scalp massager. This thing looked like an alien helmet and vibrated your skull like it was trying to read your thoughts. It rattled fillings and left hair staticky, but people plugged it in, leaned back, and declared themselves relaxed. It was futuristic self-care, awkward-looking but oddly satisfying. 9. Waterpik early countertop models. Early water flossers were like tiny pressure washers for your mouth, loud, bulky, and capable of soaking everything within arm's reach. They took more space than a blender and sounded like a jet engine, but using one made you feel advanced about oral hygiene. 10. Snoopy toothbrush timer. Only the 1970s could call a wind-up Snoopy figure a dental breakthrough. You wound him up, let him tick away while kids brushed, and got a cheerful little mascot to keep toothbrushing on schedule. Most kids treated Snoopy like a toy, but the idea of a gadget that made brushing fun felt futuristic. These gadgets were clunky, overhyped, and sometimes dangerous, but they were ours. They gave ordinary routines a little spark of imagination, and even the failures are worth remembering. If you've got a favorite weird gadget from the era, share it. There are plenty more oddball treasures to dig up from the groovy electric 1970s.